Good morning and welcome to today's episode of Gogglefrogs. So hopefully you've got some lovely knitting with you. I've just cast on. Hope you've got a cup of tea. And this is your permission hour. Sit back and do whatever you want as long as it's crafty and as long as it's all centered around you. So we are now in week 20. We set up during lockdown all those many moons ago. And this is something that we do several times a week. And if you're new, welcome. If you're one of our wonderful friends who's been with us for a little time, absolutely wonderful to see you again. And you will see there's a chat box on the right-hand side. So all you have to do is put in chat and get to know some new friends. And if you're watching on replay or YouTube, a big welcome to you too. I'm Angela and I set up Gogglefrogs 20 weeks ago with Robert, and we have some guest presenters as well who come on. So I'm just doing a lovely little bit of knitting. The sun is out. I've already been out to the shops. My mum is sitting in the garden. It looks really good weather out there. And I hope that you're going to be able to enjoy it too. And I've realised that we have got a massive fight going on in the front garden. And that's all the starlings trying to grab the peanuts. So if you can hear screeching, that's absolutely what it is in the background. Okay. So anyway, let's say hello to a few people. So bear with me and I will just take a quick look. So I'd like to say huge welcome to Brigitte. Good morning. And I don't know why my light is flickering like that. I'm going to try something different. Can you see light flickering? I think I can. That seems to have sorted it out. So that's wonderful. So good morning to Brigitte on this sunny Saturday morning. Good morning, Grace. Lovely to see you again. And good morning, Judy. Good morning, Catherine. Lovely to see you again too. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Trisha. Good morning, Viv. And I know we'll have plenty of people popping along in the next few minutes. So Robert's lined something up for us today, some lovely music. And we've got something to share as well. It's one of those hilarious little clips. So I'm going to get everything set up so we can show you. I can show you this little post, which is really quite sweet. Sorry, my light does seem to be flickering. I don't actually know why. No, I really do not know why. So apologies for that with the light. But we've always said that with Gogglefrogs, we will be here. Whenever we say we're going live, we will be here and there will be technical hitches. So if you can see a slight flickering, I don't know what it is. I've got no light on. I've turned that light off. So it's something to do with the screen. But that's my first row finished on the right front for my niece's little lovely cardigan. So I'll show you that in a little while. But without further ado, let's have a listen to some music, and all will be revealed when I share something else with you in a little while. Okay, so enjoy this music.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussycat?
To Marion. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm not joining you for long as I'm out and about. And I think I might have a surprise for you in a few minutes.
Oh,
yes, we might be joined by somebody else in a few minutes.
Where are you?
Socially distancing. We're in the picture house having a cup of tea.
Oh, fabulous. That is lovely.
So, yes, we're out, we're about, we're social distancing. Apart from anything else, I can't abide the smell of plaster because the plaster is very nice, but smell I can do without. And because of the warm, it's drying very rapidly.
Oh, wow.
But bought round colour charts yesterday. I want a nice soft grey. Well, 50 Shades of Grey has got nothing on this colour chart, I can tell you.
I know, grey is the new whatever, because there's so many different shades now, and everybody's really getting excited about
If
it.
I wanted pink, there's 2 colours.
Oh, really?
Well, almost, yeah. Almost.
That's good. That's good that grey's becoming such a hit.
I know, but they call them such wonderful names, like Whisper on an Evening and Sunset, Darkness at Sunset, and all sorts of things like
Really?
that. So how's everybody?
Oh, wow. Yes. Really, 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 really,
Right.
really good.
Right,
We'll
here's
be
the
having
surprise. Wait a minute.
Oh, sorry. Let me just get back into me.
We're logging in from here.
I've logged in. Are you going to log in?
No, because I haven't brought anything with me.
Ah, right. So
I've only got my phone.
I trust you all saw Claire briefly.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Absolutely lovely to see you.
No, it's all right. I'm only on for a few minutes. Oh. I'm just handing Claire her Coke coffee, and that's it from me. So nice to see you. And I did say at one stage we would do an at distance Gogglefrogs. We can prove it works. So there's another time. So take care, everybody, and enjoy yourself. Love the song, by the way. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, wasn't that lovely to see Claire and Marion out and about from the picture house? And that's where an area where we used to have our knit and natters. I think it's fine to social distance with a couple of people, but trying to get 30 people all at 1 to 2 meters distance will probably be a little bit difficult. But it's lovely that people are getting back to normal, isn't it? Whatever normal is now in the new world. So that was lovely to see the two of them. And yes, myself and Robert were chatting last night. And I've got an article that I will share with you in a minute. I've just posted. I've just put it into the onto my browser. So we'll go through that. But first of all, let's have a little chat and see what's happening in the chat. And for those of you on replay, you can't see the chat, and that's why I read it out to you. Tricia is saying, how on earth did I not know this? Or rather, how did I not remember this? It is Happy Yorkshire Day. So a huge, huge welcome and a huge Happy Yorkshire Day. And I've just grabbed something there. So this is Yorkshire Shawls, one of the Yorkshire things that I have, and I am actually knitting. Oh, what is it? What's it called now? Sandsend. So I am actually knitting that. That's one of my projects that will be ongoing forevermore. So Happy Yorkshire Day, everyone. And I know we have so many Yorkshire people, myself included, whilst I don't live there at the moment. Well, I haven't done for years. I regularly travel up there almost every week. So I'm always going up to Yorkshire to care for my parents. So a huge Happy Yorkshire Day, Tricia, and thank you for letting us know. Brigitte says morning, peeps. Grace says good morning. Deborah says morning. Judy says morning, everyone. Viv says morning, all. Brigitte says it looked like lightning was going on with the flickering. I know, I don't know what it was, but it was just like there. So who knows what was happening, but I think it's gone now. Or maybe it's somebody from the other side trying to connect with us. Who knows? Linda says, greetings from a very sunny Norfolk. We're off out for the day, so we'll have to catch up. We'll definitely be off to Sheringham at some point to see what it looks like in the sun. Oh my word, we go to Sheringham every year for our I suppose it's like a knit and netter at the seaside, and we always go in January, so it's brilliant. You get Christmas out of the way, New Year out of the way, then within a couple of weeks it's us time, because we plan this a year in advance, and we go away to Sheringham in Norfolk. Who knows what's happening this year, because we don't know what's happening with social distancing and pandemic, but have a beautiful time in Sheringham in the sun, because we don't get much sun when we go there in January, do we? So have a lovely day, Linda, and take some lovely photos, please, and post them in the group, whatever you will do there. Brigitte says, say hello to Sheringham from me, and thank you for organising so many of the Sheringham trips, Brigitte. prior to Robert taking over. You were absolutely amazing at doing that. Lindy says, good morning, Gogglefrogs, everybody. Haven't heard Tom Jones' song for years. Great choice, Robert. I know. You know, when you hear the title of that song, had no idea who actually sung it until it started playing, and then you know instantly, don't you? Brigitte says, hello, Marion. Tricia says, got in stereo now. Marion says, good morning. Brigitte says, thanks for that cheerful song. Take care, Marion, because I know Marion has gone now. Brigitte says, don't mention pink wall paint. We thought we were getting antique rose for the downstairs front room, but when it had dried, it was like a Barbie doll pink. It took 2 coats of white and 2 of magnolia to cover it. I know that feeling so well. Morning, lovely to see you from Georgie. And Deborah says, happy Yorkshire Day from Yorkshire. Happy Yorkshire Day, and I will be back in Yorkshire tomorrow. So I love what Yorkshire. You know I do. I love everywhere though. You know, everywhere is its own special place, isn't it? But going back to Payne, I'll never forget when we moved into this place that we've got now. It's nearly 200 years old. Anyway, we went out and bought paint, or rather, my husband went out and bought paint and got was it Cornish cream? This thing, honestly. So we put Cornish cream on the house, which I expected to look something like that, and it came out brilliant yellow outside. If you can imagine, next doors is painted magnolia, and then there's this thing that's going more and more and more sun yellow. So we just had to go out, cover it up with, I don't know what we bought then, but it was horrid. And sometimes the colours, you know, they do look like a cream colour. So we thought, oh, let's give it a little bit of warmth. But oh my word, it was a little bit like, if you've ever seen the Only Fools and Horses, where they give the paint to the guy in the, I think it's like a Chinese restaurant, a Chinese takeaway, and it all goes fluorescent yellow, and they have to wear their goggles, don't they, to stop the glare. Anyway, it was just so hilarious because we looked at our house and just thought, what have we done? It's like a scene of Only Fools. So it got painted again. But I know the feeling. It's terrible, isn't it? So anyway, back to this. I've got my I've actually finished the left front, and I don't know about you, but I've noticed in our chat that some people have slight issues trying to knit up arms or sleeves in certain projects. And I've now realised that this is my second or third that I've done from a certain brand. And I don't know whether it's how people interpret the pattern or how they write the pattern. But when I was getting to the top, it just didn't work. So in the end, I had to change the pattern to do it my own way, to do the arms, to make them work. And it's strange that somebody else said that as well. And I'm sure it's the same company. So that's the challenge that I had. I kept looking at this arm thinking, it's just too long. It's just too long. It's not curving enough. So I did it my own way, and it seemed to work out a lot better. And I think sometimes we just have to go to our old tan tested patterns that are in our heads, because sometimes they just don't make sense. Anyway, so I've done the left front, and now I'm on the right front, which is brilliant. And I'm starting off with this beautiful green that I just love. It's not mint, it's not grass, it's something in between, but it's beautiful. It's part of the batik swirl. I know I've been doing this. This is what I do really with Gogglefrogs, because it's a really easy knit pattern. And I've just shown you my Yorkshire shawls, which is incredible, but that's a 12-row repeat. So if you can appreciate, that's not the sort of thing to do when you're looking here, when you're looking at the chat, when you're trying to make sure everything's done. But I do love like the colours. Like this is my favourite rhubarb from Baramu, and then there's this colour to go with it, which I just think is incredible. And then the third colour, which I am so pleased with, is this one here. And I will finish it 1 year, but I think that's what we have to say. So Those are the three colours, and I just think they work so well. They're not normal colours that you put together, but they are absolutely incredible. And that is the dust stone. I don't think they make it. They don't make anymore because of the price of one of the wools in it. Let me just double check. When it was dust stone, there's 100% British wool, blend of 50% Blueface Leicester, 25% Wensleydale long wool, and 25% dark brown Masham. However you pronounce that, because there are different ways of pronouncing it. So that's one of my beautiful Bar New creations that is ongoing for Yorkshire Day. But there's so many, aren't there, that we're doing. Crochet I don't find easy to talk and do at the same time. So I always go back to knitting, something simple. So eventually this will get done. But after this, I've only got 2 sleeves left. And then it's that thing about knitting up, isn't it? Finishing it all off. Which is the bit that takes the longest, I think. So Brigitte says, I love Yorkshire. My first experience of England was there. Still think about it as my spiritual home. It's incredible. I love that when you look at different parts of Yorkshire, I always think Yorkshire is rather rugged. It's very hilly. It has a lot of there are still a lot of old mills there. They may have been converted, they may not have been. There are a lot of old factories as well. I just find it stunning. I really do, because the architecture is so rugged and big and bold. And some of it is quite ugly, but it's in a beautiful way. When you look at some of the steelworks, etc., some of the really, really old ones, they're still old stone buildings that have turned black with the soot, and you still get the really, really, really tall chimneys. I know a lot of things have gone, but it's quite incredible going around. And then, like the area that we're in now in Lake Bossett, you think, wow, you go back past these places and they're producing sand. So you think, where's the sand going? It's going to end up everywhere. So I'm sure that Leighton Buzzard supplies just about every town or city in the UK with sand and other things. So anyway, Yorkshire, yeah, it's fabulous place. But I just think we have some amazing cities, don't we, around? Absolutely love them. And the countryside, there is nothing better than a walk or a ramble along the Yorkshire moors. So I love that. Although after this, I might just go over the road to the to all of those fields and just have a look and see what's growing in the hedgerows. Because when I go over the road into the over to the fields, often there's like deers just come and stare at me from in the thicket. So it's quite cute. But anyway, what have you been up to? I'd love to know what you've been up to. We're going to have a look in the Facebook group in a little while. But this is something I want to look at with you. Let's have a quick look. There is a... Hang on a minute. I'll get it, because it was quite amusing, actually. Right, okay, I'm going to share this with you. And this is why we did that song this morning. So let me share my screen and you'll see. So it's taken a little bit of time to do things this morning. Right. So here we are. And this is why we had this music this morning. I don't know if you've seen this. This Houdini kitten rescued from 3 vehicles in one day in Norfolk. So look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little puddy tat. Sorry, it just looks so cute, innocent, wouldn't do anything to cause any harm, would it? So anyway, had to be rescued from 3 vehicles in one day after it kept climbing into engines in Norfolk. So interesting that you're in Norfolk today. Watch out for the cat. So they had to. So what happened was, this cat went up into the engine of a car. So with the permission of the car's owner, firefighters lifted it up to try and free the cat. It was taken to the garage where some of the wheels and the bodywork were taken off to reach the cat underneath the engine. But before it could be captured, the cat escaped and ran under BMW. The same. So eventually the BMW's owner was traced and the car was partially taken apart, but then the cat dashed under the RSPCA. So the van required less dismantling since it was higher off the ground, and a firefighter managed to catch the cat in his arms before she could escape again. The little tinker. So the RSPCA Animal Collection Officer, Natalie Reid, who has since adopted the cat, said, "It was a little Houdini, but there's no way we could leave her." So anyway, she's now been adopted and is being looked after by the RSPCA Animal Collection person. So that's it. So this is the little kitty cat that caused 3 vehicles to be taken to pieces just to try and capture this. So I don't know if the cat was cold or if that's the only place that she thought was safe, but just a little funny song. And that's why when Robert sent me this last night, this little story, he decided to play that What's New Pussycat. So hopefully you enjoyed that, but what a beautiful, beautiful little puddy cat. So and you're not going to know quite what you're going to get being here, do you? So let's have a look. Not sure what happened there. Everything shut down for a second. Oh, I hope everything's back. And Deborah says we always used to holiday in Yorkshire when our 4 were children. So we stopped work. We decided to move here. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely in that. And Janet says Yorkshire is God's own country. I think wherever we're from, we always say that, but I would absolutely say that about Yorkshire. I do love it. So yes, hopefully you're enjoying hearing about Yorkshire. But something that we are doing is sharing our work. So we're on Show It Off Saturday, aren't we? And I've only done 2 rows so far today, so I'm going to do another row or 2. So you'll be surprised to know I haven't actually been into a yarn shop or a wool shop in so long now. I really haven't. I think I've got into the habit of trying not to go out unless I really need to. Today I had to pop out to pick up my new screen from my phone. Sorry, not the new screen, my new case for my phone. So I've gone for a clear one this time, but one of these, do you know what, it's a proper Apple one. The difference is unbelievable. So yeah, I've got a proper Apple one now, which is brilliant. So that is brilliant. Let me have a look. So yeah, I popped out and got that, but on the way, so as I went away, I live in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's what I call it. We don't even have white lines in the middle of the road, but there was somebody who obviously thought that country lanes you drove in the middle, because I had to beep them at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And you don't really want to wake everybody up at that time in the morning, do you? But I had to today for this person to move over. So no, I think I set off about 8:30. So then when I got into Le Bus, I was indicating right, turn right at a roundabout, and this person obviously didn't see it and then decided to stop way past their white line and halfway into the roundabout. I thought, exactly how do I get around you? So I've come to the conclusion now that early on a Saturday morning, people are out who don't normally drive. So it was one of those, I thought there's hardly anyone on the road. It's really early. So I then went into Waitrose, picked up the parcel and skedaddled home. So and got back home, and so that's how my day has been so far. So do make sure that you're posting pictures of Show It Off Saturday, because we love all this showing off stuff, don't we? And when we're in lockdown, that's one of the most important things for us to do, just to make sure that we share each other's work, and there has been some amazing stuff being posted in the last week, and I am just getting so much inspiration from them. But I have to try and finish some projects off first, so that's why I want to get this little cardigan finished, and then this will either be a Christmas present or a birthday present, well, part of the birthday present, which is at the end of September. So I've got plenty of time to finish this. I also have the secret project left to finish. I also have that Yorkshire Shores to finish. I also have a cardigan that I started. It's a crochet cardigan, and I've never crocheted a cardigan before. And as soon as it was coming to shape the arms, I thought, I've got no idea. So I need to really read this pattern properly. So that's really on the back burner and will be picked up at a later date. But we've always got so many projects on, haven't we? And then I really enjoyed doing my hitchhiker. No, I haven't done hitchhiker. I did, what was it? Workday Scarf, wasn't it? That's the one I did. And I really enjoyed doing that because it was so simple and so easy to do. So I am thinking of doing another one of those. But today I found another scarf that was lovely, and I've got some stuff in the garage, which is where the office is, and I thought that would be really nice knitted up in it, but I've ended up buying more wool anyway from us. So I need to clear a few projects before I can get onto the new projects, which will be brilliant. So I know what it's like. We never have enough time in the day, in the month, in the year. But I just want to get a few things finished. I really do. Sorry. Oh, hello, David. How are you? Lovely to see you. We were just saying Happy Yorkshire Day. So Happy Yorkshire Day, David, as well, up there. Janet's saying I call them Sunday drivers. They only drive one day a week. I know. I just could not believe it, honestly. So bad. And then I saw this old couple, and I'm not joking, they must have been about 90. And they were going slow, but they drove so much better. They really did. Like, age doesn't come into it. It's about, do you pay attention to what's going on around you? And just today, I could have had at least 2 write-offs. So never mind. We're here. We live to tell the tale. Yeah, the Sunday drivers, they just go out, I think, early when there's nothing else on the road to do the shopping. It was really quite scary. So Trisha got to go. Zoom meeting shortly. Have a lovely weekend. And you, Trisha, and thank you for reminding us about Yorkshire Day. And Janet says, you too, Trisha. Talk on Tuesday. And Linda says, morning all. Good morning. So hope you're happily knitting. So I've done, 3 or 4 rows now. So I've done a little bit. So shall we have a look at Facebook? We can have a quick look at Facebook and see what's in there. Let me just get it all queued first, because you never quite know what we've got open. So, and we're not far off being 100 people within the group. So we have a page. We have the Gogglefrogs page. We have our this as well that we do, that I know we have a lot of people who watch it on replay later in the day or in different time zones. And then we have our little more intimate group. So that's really good that we're almost at 100 now. So brilliant. So thank you very much. And please do carry on telling your friends, because I know it's you that are doing all the great work. So yeah, that's brilliant. So let's show it off Saturday and see what we've got in here. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's saying that I am sharing the screen. And here we have Show It Off Saturday. Still working on my baby shawl. The lacy edge is taking forever. We all know that. It's the tiny little finishing details, isn't it, that takes all the time. So let's just, oh, and I can see the Gogglefrogs up there as well. Oh, wow. That lace edging is beautiful. You're on the third side now, though, knitting and watching Gogglefrogs in the garden. Woohoo! Hello and welcome. Lovely that you're watching us in the garden, Deborah. But that edging is gorgeous. I love the fact that there's that line of beautiful holes. Is that what you call it? Not too sure, but it adds to the effect. And then that lace on the outside, that is beautiful. So thank you very much, Deborah. Always love seeing work. Really, really love seeing work. That's brilliant. Brigitte, not the best of picks. This is the start of the blanket for a new baby in Germany. Wow, those are really unique colours. I love them. I would call that underwater colours. So there's blues, there's greens, there's yellows. It almost looks like a beautiful underwater colour. I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Brigitte. And those are colours that if we were picking them, you wouldn't put them together, would you? But suddenly you get them in a ball of yarn, or we try something a bit different, and they work brilliantly. So I absolutely love that. Thank you. As Robert said, we're 5 members away from 100 on the Facebook group, the lovely little group. I think we're well over 100 on the other one, but this is where we get all the interaction. This is where we share our work, and this is where people can look from outside, but they can't comment, they can't really see everything until they join. So it's a nice, safe environment. And then Louise, finished this shawl in the week. Spotted cheap pattern, ordered on regional day, and used up sock yarn odds. Won't be joining you this morning. Off for coffee at our village coffee shop. Brilliant, just reopened. Think I'll try out the shawl. So that must be out in the coffee shop now. That is brilliant. Thank you so much for posting. That is lovely. So you've used used up sock yarn odds. That is brilliant, isn't it? Loving that. Thank you very much, Louise. And I hope that your coffee was lovely today. It's nice when places are starting to reopen, isn't it? So Brigitte is saying yarn heaven again. Additional Gogglefrogs order was duly delivered by SCD. That's Robert. I love the feel of the antique lilac so much that the stone is going to make a cardigan for me. The stone is lovely. It's one of those beautiful neutral colours, but I think the drape on that is going to be amazing because it's got silk in it. The choc chip ice cream, definitely a pair of socks. Are they for you or are they for Rob though? That is beautiful, that choc chip ice cream. Let me see if I can show you them all with the comments at the side. And that is the Aldi yarn, which is the blanket that we just looked at a moment ago. And as I said, when you would not put those 3 colours together and pick up 3 different balls of wool, but they look amazing. So that's lovely. Looks like housework is going to lose out again. Absolutely. Should always lose out. And thank you ever so much for putting the little frogs and the packaging on there. We do love our frogs and packaging. And I'm always interested to see which needles people use or crochet hooks people use. So Anne, oh look at this. Anne has just posted, oh my word, look at this fluff ball. Absolutely beautiful. Do you know what? I looked at it on my phone. I didn't actually see the putty tat earlier. So Giza cotton sorbet and curiosity with pattern, plus my door hanger and bookmark. Love the tiny frogs. Thank you so much. I know Robert just sits there because they're all hand done. We can't buy these things in, so we have to make it all up. But that is lovely. So I'm so pleased that you enjoy it, and the cat looks to be loving it as well, which is hilarious, isn't it? Because if it was a real frog, the cat would be eating the frog, we know, or playing with it. But what a fluff ball. Beautiful, Anne. Absolutely love your putty cat. Debbie has shared the link. British wool for summer insulation and carpeting. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Like when I worked in insurance, I know the supplier that they used for restoration and replacement of carpets. They really did support the British wool industry, and most of their stuff was all British wool. So it's really good to see that there is so much industry. But as you know, let's face it, who's bought a new carpet in the last 3-4 months? Who's bought new rugs in the last 3-4 months? Any stock there is stock that was out there anyway. So it would be really good. So I'm going to read that afterwards. But everything that we can do is just what can we do with British wool? Because that's what's happening to it. It's been burnt. It's not been used. So, and it is amazing, our British wool, isn't it? We welcomed our new members as well. So lovely to see our new members there. And then this is this is just the best name ever for yarn. So this is pickled cabbage from Truly Hooked, and it is incredible. Hope you love it as well as much as we do. But the name of pickled cabbage, where on earth did that come from? But I know when you certainly when you're watching things like MasterChef and all these lovely chefy programs, a lot of the time when they pickle their radishes, or all of their pickles, they're a red colour rather than the traditional brown colour. So I'm sure that's where it comes from. But I just love that. And again, Truly Hooked. It's obviously passed the squish test, which is essential, isn't it? And it's just beautiful. And then there was a question about us. And thank you so much for answering. I know a lot of you have. So thank you for taking the time out to do that. But it was just between Wednesday night and Thursday morning. It's only a matter of a few hours. So we don't tend to get much in the Facebook group, and we were wondering whether we should cancel the Thursday, whether we should move Wednesday night to Thursday night. So we're going to have a think about that. We're going to leave it a few days so that everybody can comment, because it's your group. So we need to know from all of you. So if you haven't already commented, please do, and thank you so much, because I know you have. So yeah, so that's brilliant. And we will make the decision. So anyway, Claire's dashing out this morning. So she's not joining us because she's actually in, was it the Picture House? I think it was the Picture House. So she was meeting with Marion. So they're having a nice morning out, having coffee, etc. So that's brilliant, and thank you ever so much, Marion and Claire, for helping out as often as you do. That's brilliant. And we saw this, but it's well worth another look, isn't it, Linda? Having a look at those. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Oh, and here was, if you haven't seen it already, and thank you ever so much, Dawn. Free Pattern Friday, another from Unit, and it was a lace weight and 3-ply shawl. And what I loved about this, I'll just show you this. It's actually quite a long shawl. So rather than it being a short one around the shoulders, it's actually one that drapes right past the bum at the back and right down at the front. So if you're looking for what I would term a very old-fashioned style shawl, which I think they're lovely because they just envelop around you, and that would be brilliant. And if you really, really wanted to warm that up for the winter months, go for something like the beautiful, what do you call it? It's like this, this one that I've done. What is it? I can't remember. But like a cashmere. If you put anything, cashmere in anything, it's so beautiful and warm. And whilst they look like a lace weight, it's just unbelievable how it actually retains the heat. And I know when I put that hat on, it is lovely, but your head never sweats in them. And likewise, if you put a beautiful shawl on that you've done out of an amazing wool, you never have to worry about getting too hot because it just allows you to breathe. It's beautiful. So, but just use up whatever you've got. Anyway, so I think that's it. Let me know if I've missed anything. But that's lovely. Let's have a look. So Deborah says, also shedding is pausing today. So my first day of relative freedom and for the millions of other. Oh, right. So the shielding is over. That is amazing. So well done on that. And just get out and about and enjoy yourself. We can still take precautions. We can still be at a distance, but we can still enjoy, can't we? Deborah says, Brigitte, that's lovely. And Brigitte says, thank you. Made up the non-pattern pattern because the yarn wouldn't show up anything more fancy. So, yeah, that's lovely. We always make them up ourselves, don't we? And actually, let me see if I've still got this. I'm just going to have a quick look on Ravelry. Yes, I saw this earlier, and I'm just going to share this. So I was looking for a pattern, and whilst I'm not going to do this pattern, I was looking at this, and it's a drop stitch scarf. And I thought often we spend so much time with quite complex, colourful yarns trying to do difficult patterns. And I just thought, do you know what? The Louisa Harding Naomi, I can't remember which one it is. I've got 6 balls of it in the office, and I want something different to do with it. And I think this will be a beautiful pattern. I don't think I want a short scarf. I'm either going to do a really, really long oblong, so it goes around the shoulders, etc. Or I may actually do that into the old-fashioned shawl style that Dawn posted. But I just thought that is a stitch that we forget about, and it really, really, really does show off colours beautifully. So it does look like underwater waves, doesn't it? But that's a really, really lovely pattern. I think here's one where it's yeah, that's plain, but I just love the different colours and just how it sets them off. So with Ravelry, sometimes I put in my sometimes I will put in the wool I have. And I always find that there's not really any great pattern suggestions. But today I was really, really pleased with that. So I thought that's one that I'm definitely going to have a look at and see how it knits up. But I'm not going to be doing that yet. I've got so many patterns that I just need to get done. And do post whatever you're thinking of. Even if you've got the wool and the pattern, please just post it so that we can have a look and then think, do you know what, I love that, or that would look really good in the wool I have. So please do share it. It's getting really warm in here, so hopefully it's a lovely day for you again. Sorry, my tea's practically cold now, but when it's really warm, even cold tea's good, isn't it? And Robert always says to me, how can you drink almost cold tea? But I can do, so that's fine. So is this going to be my 5th row or my 4th row? I can't really remember, but I've just got to do a few rows in this for the bottom of the cardigan, and then I can start in the lovely colours. So that'll be amazing. That'll be really, really good. And finish the right hand side and then onto the arms, which shouldn't take very long at all. Let's hope not anyway. It's actually been very, very nice wool to knit with, and I am happier on 4mm needles than I am on 3, and you all know that. But it's just I prefer the larger needles. And the thing at the moment, we're in August. It's the 1st of August, isn't it? So when we look at the 1st of August, often I think Oh, wow. You know, if only I could start doing things for winter now, but I just can't cope with that thick wool on my lap. And whilst I can knit in here, because I have got a little table, etc., I just don't think it works very well. Not when it's so lovely outside. So then it will suddenly get to September, and I'll think, do you know what, I need to do a jumper really, really quickly for this winter. Because we always like a new jumper or something, don't we? So, yeah. Let me just finish this. Sorry. Right, okay. So I don't know what you've all got planned for the day. I think I've got a really quiet day planned, which is good. Actually, most days are quiet days, aren't they? They just have the odd trip here and there. So I think we're having another very, very quiet day. I don't know if anybody's going to spend any time in the garden today, but I did do some knitting in the garden yesterday. I got very, very red. But I wasn't burnt. I always go really red. So I've got a bit of colour, which is great. Not a huge amount of colour, but I've got a bit of colour, which is lovely. And I think I'll have a little bit more time out there today. But it's a little bit more cloudy today. I think it'll be a lot more pleasant. But I just want to get this done as quickly as I can, and then I can finish off some of the other projects that have been around for far, far, far too long. Far too long. But I think we're all in that camp, aren't we? So it will be so lovely to just finish off some stuff. And then I've got to go to the buttons, because one thing that we did say we were going to do was the buttons for this, and I was going to find the animal buttons. So hopefully I've got them all in there, because I must have about 30 or 40 different packets of those beautiful little buttons. And that's where I have to find the lion, the tiger, the giraffe, and the rat. So I don't know how I'm going to find a rat one. But I'm sure I'll find one from somewhere. She doesn't want a mouse, she wants a rat on there. And we'll see. But who knows, she might have forgotten the conversation that we had, but I don't think she will have done somehow. So she will be waiting to see whether her Auntie Allinger, as she calls me, has put all of the different animals on, because I did ask her what she wanted. So hopefully we've got that right. Anne says, glad you enjoyed Morgan, one of our cats, modelling with my yarn purchase on Facebook. He just chose not to move off the coffee table. That was so lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. We really, 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 really love that. And then Brigitte says, let's have a quick look. This is a problem. Sometimes with the sun, I can't actually see the comments very well. So Brigitte had said that she'd made up the non-pattern because anything more the wool just didn't work with. Deborah says, I've already commented on the Facebook group, but I think cancelling the Thursday morning session makes sense. Yeah. That would give you both a good stretch of time between Wednesday and Saturdays. Always grateful, though, for your time. So whatever you decide, thank you very much. We'll just wait and see and then make a decision. I think on Tuesday, I'm meeting up with Robert. No, we're not meeting up in face-to-face. I think it's going to be online. But we'll make a decision then. Sally says, agree with Deborah. Hello, Sally. Sorry. Brigitte says that was her suggestion as well. Makes the most sense for Angela and Robert. Deborah, sorry, yes, above, I meant shielding. Thanks, Angela. This is what happens when you don't read your messages before the predictive text. I know. Happens all the time. And do you know what? I think it's really quite funny now. When I look at some of the messages that I send, I don't apologise anymore. So really don't worry. Brigitte says, Deborah, my phone spell check is so confused because it goes between German and English, and also German, and also a German dialect. Wow, that is in no one's dictionary. That's unbelievable. Brigitte, that's very amusing, says Deborah, which it is. Anne says, glad you enjoyed Morgan. Sorry, yeah, Morgan, we know the cat's name now. Morgan, absolutely gorgeous. We love seeing Morgan. And Brigitte says, I did my gardening bit first thing, tried to cut a bramble, between the shed and the house and got a bit stuck. Must have been hilarious to see how I wriggled out. Isn't that funny? When all you're thinking is, I don't want to cut myself and I don't want this thing to get hold of my trousers or rip my clothes that I've got on. So it's always quite amusing. Judy says, I started messing about with food colouring to dye yarn yesterday, and I want to develop what I learned today. Oh, wow. It was fun and made a change. You must share some pics. Judy, yes, please let us know. Yarn dyeing and all of this thing is something that so many of us don't actually do. But I would imagine that once you do, it's fascinating. I didn't realise you could use food dye, but that's really exciting. So please let us know what you've been doing with that. I just realised I've broken a nail. I got some cherries the other day, and I was, pitting cherries. Well, you don't realise, but you get this dark stuff all over your hands, all down your nails, etc. So I took my nail polish off this morning. All I did was go to Waitrose. I've broken a nail, so that serves me right not to put the whole thing on for the nails, doesn't it? Oh, don't know if it's presentable. I'm just learning. Judy, everything is presentable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It would be amazing to see what you're doing, honestly. And Brigitte says, if it turns out delicious, resist temptation to eat it. Yay. Oh, wow. Sorry, it's really hot in here. Yeah, so do post. We love seeing the things that work out really well, and we love seeing the things that don't work out so well. Not that it won't, but you're saying it's one of, you're just learning. But I bet there'll be some people who've tried themselves who think, oh my word, yours is amazing. How did you do it? And then you can just share that knowledge. So we're all learning from each other. And I think I might have a go next year with dyeing yarns. I don't know. I'll have a go. So I'd love to know what yours is looking like. And do you use any food colouring? Or is it a certain type of food colouring? It's got loads of food colouring in the cupboard, so it might be giving me some ideas. But yeah, that'd be lovely. Judy says, a very stringy cupcake. Yeah, sorry, just got the joke. Very stringy cupcake. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And it's strange what we actually start creating. So I haven't done the hand dyeing yet. I did get fleeces and I didn't use them, so I gifted them away at the charity thing at Sheringham last year. So I did have some alpaca fleeces, and in the end I just got rid. And I found out that if you dye with alpaca, apparently the colour is less dense. So they're always much paler shades when you're using alpaca. So I thought alpaca was brilliant, but I think it's best to be kept like quite natural in colour, because it doesn't take colour like some of the other yarns do. So I had a bit of an education on what yarns to use for what. So I was actually listening to somebody who was chatting about it. So that was fascinating. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, Blueface Leicester I think is one of the best ever for taking colour. I love Blueface Leicester, I really do. So I think that's one of the best that you can get. But they're all amazing. They just take the intensity isn't there. if you add alpaca into the mix. But then you get these beautiful light hues, almost like dusk. So yeah, but lovely. Oh my word, and we're at 57. It's me rambling on about different colours, but I'm really, really, really excited to find out what things look like. And Brigitte says would be interesting to find out if the food colouring can be fixed or would wash out. Yeah, you know, how you fix things, how you create them, how you get them to dye and to last. But yeah, I'm not too sure how it works with different dyes. And sometimes the natural dyes, whilst you can use a natural thing to fix, sometimes they're quite caustic. So natural doesn't always mean natural. Sometimes more of the acid can have a great be very beneficial. So choose what you want to do. Food colouring sounds great. We eat food colouring. Just get it to set. Don't know how you do that, but we would love to know. We would absolutely love to know. So thank you for letting us know, because Gogglefrogs is about everything, not just knitting. So we're really interested to know how you're getting along with your hand dyeing. And did you get a kit, or did you just have something hanging around that you thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go? So let us know what inspired you as well, because that's quite amazing. And if not, I'm going to be borrowing somebody's microwave and probably having a go at dyeing something. Oh dear. Right, so Anne said, Laughing Hens has an article about using food colouring on wool. So did you actually look at that? And Brigitte says, thought that, Judy. I shan't do any though. Oh, and Judy says, soak the yarn in a solution of white vinegar and water first. Wow. Learning something new every day. And Anne says, yes, reading it now. So thank you. So that's an article from Laughing Hens. And if you soak the yarn in a solution of white vinegar and water first, I'm sure there's a ratio that you need, that should hold the colour. So wow, thank you so much. So we've got people now creating their own hand-dyed wool out of food colouring that is in everybody's cupboard. And whilst it goes out of date for human consumption, it is safe a long time past that date if you test it in a lab, and I'm sure it still would be true to colour for you to be able to use. And I've got so much food colouring that I used to use in all my cakes, so I will be having a look at that as well. So thank you ever so much. We are now on 11 o'clock, can you believe that? So I want to say a huge welcome, huge hello, and for all of you today, and thank you so much for spending the time with us today, and we will see you again on Monday at 10 o'clock. Okay, you take care. Bye.